People ask me, can you add a motion controller? I tell them, of course we can.
Gaming has changed a lot over the years. Paddles and joysticks were the inception point for video game controllers, and we now live in a world with video game pads that are more complicated than ever. While the multitude of inputs are a great thing in the eyes of an avid player, it can be daunting or a downright deterrent for those who haven't had extended experience playing games over the past few decades. Nintendo realized this years ago and made a concerted effort to simplify video game controls and expand gaming to a larger audience. The result was the introduction of motion controls with the Wii and Wii Remote. It boiled input down to the basics with only a few buttons and a large focus on general gestures. While the Wii became a mainstream phenomenon, it proved to be too simplified for the core audience, and once the mainstream became bored with the Wii, the console's market dried up. Enter Microsoft and Sony. The two console giants approached the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 generation much as they had previous ones, with a focus on hardcore games. Once Nintendo proved that there was a market to be had by making games more accessible, both saw the opportunity and pounced. Sony introduced its own sophisticated take on remote-controlled motion input with the PlayStation Move, but Microsoft took a wholly different approach, one it would treat as a defining part of its console offering.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're excited to share with you Project Natal.
Microsoft first unveiled its concept for the future of motion controls at E3 2009. Presented under the codename Project Natal, Microsoft's take on simplifying motion controls took the concept to an extreme. Rather than reducing the amount of buttons and relying on gyroscope and infrared-based gesture detection a la the Wiimote, Microsoft removed the controller from the equation entirely. Comprised of an array of cameras, Project Natal promised an input mechanism that would be natural to everyone. With the controller out of the picture, players' bodies would be the input device. No more swinging a remote to hit a tennis ball, just swing your arm. No more need to release a button to simulate releasing a bowling ball, just open your hand. If reducing the controller to a wand captured the mainstream consumer's attention in a big way, removing the controller altogether should have a similar ripple effect, right? Project Natal managed one thing extremely well, capturing the imagination of gamers. It was just the kind of technology at just the right time to make people feel like they were getting a glimpse into the future. The amount of times Minority Report was referenced alongside Project Natal was proof that Microsoft had hit a chord with the technology in concept. At E3 2010, Project Natal became Kinect, just the kind of corporate-feeling naming scheme one would expect from Microsoft. The tech continued to look exciting, but could the Xbox 360, a machine then in its 5th year on shelves, really power such an advanced technology? Microsoft answered with a release date and price point. The Kinect launched on November 4th, 2010 for $150. 13 games launched alongside Kinect with the requisite sports and fitness titles in tow. Of the baker's dozen, one game was a standout critical success, Harmonix's Dance Central. Despite the severe lack of quality titles, the Kinect made waves with consumers. It was hard to watch any mainstream TV and not see it mentioned or demoed.
So there's this new thing, and it's called, I don't know if you've heard about it, but it's Kinect for Xbox 360, and it's very, very cool, and there's no wires, no nothing. You're the controller.
Late night TV, morning chat shows, local news. Microsoft hit the right note to get people talking, and that was enough for financial success. Kinect sold 8 million units in its first 60 days on shelves, earning it the Guinness World Record of being the fastest selling consumer electronics device. But the games never really came. A commercial success? Yes. But gamers were not happy. The technology just didn't seem to be there. Kinect games ate up processing power from the Xbox 360 itself, so games were generally less impressive visually, and the motion tracking just wasn't sophisticated enough for core experiences. Aside from use of Kinect's voice capabilities in larger AAA titles like Mass Effect 3, it was clear that Kinect was a direct play for the mainstream, and a definite step toward getting people comfortable with the ideas of having a camera connected to their console and a voice-driven living room. Kinect support dwindled as the Xbox 360 neared the end of its life cycle, but the hardware went on to move over 24 million units by February 2013. As E3 approached, the PlayStation 4 was a known quantity, and pundits were left wondering if Kinect for Xbox 360 was a failed experiment or a test run for Microsoft's next console. In May 2013, Microsoft held a special event announcing the Xbox One, and confirmed that Kinect was here to stay, or so it seemed.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Xbox One.
Xbox One would ship out of the box with Kinect 2.0 included for all. Promoted from being an accessory to a main piece of kit seemed to confirm that Microsoft was very serious about getting Kinects into living rooms. The Xbox One launched on November 22, 2013 for $499. In the package came the console, Kinect 2.0, a controller, and various standard accoutrements. At $100 more than the PlayStation 4, the $500 price point rubbed many gamers the wrong way, leading to many comments around the internet blaming the largely unwanted Kinect for the premium pricing. With Kinect still very much representing a play for the mainstream on Microsoft's part, the core gaming consumer, the one who is likely to buy a new console at or around launch, was left feeling somewhat slighted. Microsoft pushed the Kinect 2.0 as an integral part of the Xbox One. Since its unveil, the Xbox One had been positioned as much as an entertainment hub as a gaming machine, and Kinect was the heart of the experience. Universal voice search through Bing, TV navigation, a voice-responsive user interface. It was clear that Microsoft had built a new Xbox experience around a living room that has a Kinect in it. While Sony was touting games, Microsoft lost the plot with its core consumer with a focus on the non-gaming aspects of the new Xbox. But maybe they didn't mind losing a bit of the core audience if they could capture that sports-watching, primetime-loving mainstream consumer. Kinect was a tool to help capture the TV market, but like the first go-around, the technology still just wasn't quite there. The promise of a voice-controlled living room is exciting, but only if it works damn near 100% of the time. Talking to electronics is already a difficult leap for many to make, but once you start asking people to repeat themselves, it's adding insult to injury. 4 years between the launch of the first Kinect to Kinect 2.0 appears to have just not been quite enough time to get the technology truly right. The inclusion of a largely unloved peripheral, a slight performance deficiency relative to Sony's offering, and a $100 premium over the PlayStation 4, and 6 months in, Microsoft found themselves in something of a pickle. Sales numbers for Microsoft and Sony's consoles clocked in at 5 million and 7 million respectively as of May 2014. With Sony holding a market, performance, and mindshare advantage, something had to give, and that ended up being Kinect. On May 12, 2014, Microsoft announced they would be unbundling the Kinect and selling the Xbox One in a console-only package for $399. This brought the Xbox to price parity with the PlayStation 4 and is a bullet that Microsoft likely had to bite to stay in the game. Unfortunately, it also brings some issues. The user interface was built around Kinect, so that could cause some usability problems. This also is a second huge reversal in strategy from Microsoft regarding the Xbox One after the DRM debacle of last year, so it only goes to reinforce the prevalent feeling that Microsoft doesn't have a clear vision for the product. And now any developers who were promised the Kinect in every box and were developing with the camera in mind have had the rug pulled out from under them.
You ever wonder what the bottom of an Avatar shoe looks like? Well, bam! There it is.
So there you have it, the Kinect saga from beginning to end. You could argue that this is not the end for Kinect, but the arc seems to be complete. Microsoft trialed it on the Xbox 360, doubled down and committed to it with the Xbox One, and a mere 6 months in, have totally reversed course to making it a peripheral once again. It seems highly likely that the Kinect missed its chance to prove itself. But who knows, maybe we'll be back here for the History of Kinect Part 2. I've been Jonathan Downin for Fish Tuxedo. Thanks for watching.